let's see what's inside this box. There we go. Let's get the boxes. So what do we have here? Now this is an Amazon warehouse deal, of course, as you can see. Now what I'm trying to do here is I've got this for £151. Normally there'll be a lot more than that, just under £200. It's got the Dolby Atmos. It is the Virtuoso or Corsair VIRTUOSO, I can't even say it, Virtuoso. Alright guys, this is it. So the headset I've got here is wireless XT model. They're the top of the range model that Corsair does. Dual wireless as well, which is quite good. So I could be listening to my music and play games on it. Now it is a warehouse deal, so I don't know what the inside is going to be like, so you can see for yourself in a second. The question is, I'll keep opening boxes in the wrong way, so I want to make sure I get it done the right way this time. I think it's here somehow. Let's see if I can get this open. Now I have returned my Astro back because I just did not feel, I mean, it was comfortable, but there were some issues with the system itself. I couldn't get to work properly on my computer the way I would like it, so I'm basically was disappointed with that. Anyway, so just unboxing for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and test it out tonight. It's the weekend, so I'm going to see how well this works. So is there anything to mention from the box itself? It's Bluetooth, it's got the IQ software I'm going to need, which I already have. So most of my stuff are Corsair, and that is one of the reasons I went with Corsair, just to see if it goes well with and works well with my computer. Now the problem is there has been some bad reviews of this, but I want to see it for myself. So what I need to do is unbox this now. Let's get it open. Alright, so what comes with this? That is very yeah, I can see the problem here straight away. I can see that it's very hard here. The material isn't soft anyway inside, and also the cushion itself, supposed to be memory foam, but it's quite hard, but it's like there's plenty of space there. It's not raising up. It's probably been down for too long. It's probably will take time. Okay, now one thing I always watch some other people showing this is how stiff it is to turn left and right, and it turns all the way around as well. So you can see it is quite stiff. It's one thing I didn't realize. And the headband itself, nice and soft. The quality is very good. I mean, that's one thing that I've always enjoyed, is a good quality make. There are some good features on this. I'll go through that later, but for now, this is what comes in the box. Don't know how that would fit in there though. Let's see. I don't know. It's going to be a bit of a tight fit to get in there. Next bit is what else does it come with. I'm just curious to know, do I have to activate the Dolby Atmos, or is it already activated? Is another question that I have. So let's have a quick read of this. I just want to make sure. There's the Atmos card. There's nothing to go to Microsoft Store, download the Dolby app and connect the device. Once connected, Dolby Atmos will detect your device. Activate Dolby Atmos on headphone. Okay, so it's nothing I have to scratch off like the Astro did. So it's fine, it's all there. Put them back. Now I'm a bit excited to try this out today. The main reason I actually did get this is because of the mic itself. That's one thing that let me down on the Astros, because I want to use it for two things. First of all, I want to use it for gaming, that's for sure, and that is quite good to use as well, so we'll try this out. And second of all, I want to make sure that the mic is good for just doing some minor editing and stuff and doing voice overlay, because all the mics that I've had in the past, I've had the Steel series, Turtle Beach, and I haven't bought cheap mic for like a couple of quid, and none of them were as good with the mic. But this is what I've heard, that this one is amazing when it comes to mic, so it's going to be interesting to see how well this works. It doesn't come with any boom, or what they're called, on front, so pop filter or anything like that at all, so we'll see how that works later. But that was one of the main reasons I actually bought this. There's nothing else in the box, so just checked it. Alright, so there you go. This is all you need to get you started, and I'll try it on in a second and see how well that feels. Now, we all appreciate good quality product, okay, and this one I think has been made very, very well. And the reason I say this is because if you look at the detail, it's all in the detail. I mean, looking at the USB dongle thing they've got here, the adapter or Bluetooth, whatever they're called, if you look at carefully how that's been made, it's really nice, and it follows the pattern to the mic itself, and even the wires that it comes with. Look at the detail on that. That is just nice, the way it finishes it off. And if you can see it close up there. But same with this as well, the USB. If you look at it close up, you can see straight away that it has got some nice features all the way around. I mean, this is what makes it quality. And not just that, if you go to the headset itself, what do I see straight away? I mean, it's metal. The movement is nice and stiff, so it stays. If you keep it there, it stays there. It doesn't sort of move back. Just to show you with the other devices I've got here, the Turtle Beach ones I've got here, I mean, they're very free moving, and sometimes I feel like when you're moving them around, it sort of moves back. So these ones are not bad, actually, to be honest. So, you know, these are, but the other one is much more stiffer, that's for sure. But one thing I'm disappointed with is the cushion itself, and if you look at it straight away, I'm going to get it off. If this works out well for me, I'm going to change these cushions to something a bit more deeper, like these ones are. They're very, very comfortable cushions here. It's very soft, and if you compare the two, that's the best cushions that I've got so far in my Turtle Beach here. So if you feel the two, that's got memory foam, and it's got nice material on the front as well. It makes it a bit more comfortable. But if you look at this, it's almost like there's plenty of space there to have more cushion put in, but it's not as thick. That's nowhere near thick as this. And if I press it, it's a bit more thick. I mean, it's a bit more harder. So here you go. Look at that, how comfortable that just goes in. This one doesn't go in as far, but I wish they made it this thickness on that, and that would be that. And some people might say if it's too thick or too hard, it might be too tight on their head. But this is not bad. And I'm just going to put it on. You might not be able to see. I'm just going to try it on because I haven't tried it on yet to see how well it is. Okay, it's a bit small, so also look at that, how it comes out quite comfortably. Let's try it now. You know what? I like it. It does touch the driver inside. Yeah, it does touch the driver inside slightly, but I'll try it on tonight and I'll get back to you as soon as I can tomorrow, maybe to finish it off in how I feel about these headsets. But if I really like it, I think I'll get this changed to thicker ones, and they're quite easy to change, I hear as well, so we'll try that one. I'll show you first of all that, as I've already mentioned, the quality of the build is amazing. The details are really good. Now that's the first look of it. Now it comes down to the feel and how does it feel to put this on your head. One thing I will say, it does look slightly smaller compared to my other headset that I have of the Circle. If you look at it right now, it is a bit smaller on the head side. So that's one thing to think about. If you already got one of these the Turtle Beach ones, you'll notice they're slightly smaller. Okay, that's the first bit, but that's not a problem. When I try this on, compared to the other headset I've had in the past, how comfortable does it feel? It rests on your head very well, I must say. You can adjust it the way you want it. It rests nicely. You feel that it's actually resting on your head. The pinch of the cups itself, it's not enough, I feel. It feels like it's resting on my head more than it's holding by the spring load they've got there. That's the only thing I will say. So if you've got a big, I've got a slightly medium-sized head, I would say, or probably larger in some cases. So yeah, it does feel comfortable, but the ears, my ears inside, is a very large circle here. Probably not the right shape for your ears, but having said that, it does go inside and it does touch the drivers, and that's where I think it's slightly uncomfortable. And as I said, it moves a lot, so when I do this shake around, I mean, you wouldn't do this in a game, but if I'm moving something to left and right, it seems to follow you about a bit more, so too much movement there. I'm going to try to reduce this a bit more. Now it's too small. I think it's just the smallest frame that it needs to be. So now it's too high up, so I've got to adjust it a bit more. Okay. It feels like resting on my head more than that. So if I just compare it to another headset, as I said, I'll tell which one that I use in this office room here. So this clamps down harder than that does, so it is slightly uncomfortable in the clamping, but it feels like when I'm moving it, it stays put, it doesn't move. So that's an advantage of having something tight fitting as that is. But with this one here, when I put it on again, yeah, it's just too flimsy when it comes to this. I mean, it's got good movement. It feels like it's resting more and it's not really pinching enough. So what I might try to do is get a bigger cushions, and that might help. That's only, but then, you know, you're spending a lot of money on it already. Do you want to spend more money just to make it comfortable? Well, it should have been comfortable, that's the thing. But going back to what I was saying, the main reason I actually got this is for the mic. And if it works well, in terms of for my gaming and you know, how I use it, I don't mind the discomfort slightly. And if the mic is amazing as they put it, then I'll keep it. And that's my conclusion to this. So I'm going to try it out tonight and have a go at it and see how comfortable they will be in terms of usage and how easy is it to use as well. So yeah, it's not pinching enough. Just need a bit more tighter. Not enough. That's quite off-putting, that is. Yeah, it's just not enough. It just feels like it's resting on your head more than this. If I look down, it's too much movement. I know normally you'd not shake your head as I'm doing so, but it feels like it's not gripping my head. It just feels like it's not gripping my head comfortably, and it doesn't stay still if I'm moving around. It feels sort of a bit too loose. That's the only thing I'll say about this headset. But going back to the fact that I only got it because of the mic itself, I can do some voice overlay and stuff and try this out without having to have another mic. And I do like the fact that I could hear things better. So sound quality was the next thing to test out, and if it's as good as others that I've had, I'll probably end up keeping it. But we'll see again how well they operate when it comes to my usage. Alright, now that I've used the Corsair VIRTUOSO XT, there are a few things I'd like to mention. First of all, it's strange that it doesn't really have an on and off button, which I found out. What it basically does is you've got a wired connection and a wireless connection. As soon as you put it onto the wireless connection, it literally turns on for the use, and you've got the battery indicator there. That's one thing I've noticed first of all, and which is okay, it's not a problem. Another thing that it doesn't have is a volume control separated for the gaming and chat. So when you put the volume up and down, it literally does both. So you've got to do on the computer, if you're using a computer, you've got to use a computer to put it down. That's one thing I've realised. One of the other, the build quality is amazing. I must say, it looks very sturdy, very solid. But there are a few things that I do not like about it, which I'll mention first, and I'll go on to saying what I really like about it. Okay, first thing I don't like are the cushions here. Now, I don't mind the size of the cushion, it's perfectly fine for me, but I think it's just too soft, or it's not thick enough. So I will be getting some new cushions, ear cushions for those. The leather is perfect and beautiful feel to it, but I'll be getting some new cushion to give it extra comfort. Another reason I'll be getting a cushion that are thicker is it is too soft in terms of when it's on your ear. I mentioned this before already. When you put it on, it sort of stays on your ear, but it feels like your head is holding it. There's not enough pinch on there to make it firm. So when you're moving about, it sort of still moves with you. It doesn't move with your head. It's sort of slow. There's too much movement on your head, basically. That's what I mean. And what I like about another thing that I like is the fact that I do like the RGB on the side. It's not too gamey, not overpowered. It's very subtle. It does look good. Not that you can see it when you've got it on, but it does look nice, I suppose, when it's on. I don't know how they've done it, but it does look quite nice in the metal sort of casing. I think it feels like it's metal, but I don't know, to be honest. But I know the covering here is plastic, but this bit is metal all the way across. What I would probably do is upgrade the cushion, as I've said, into thicker ones, and that will give me probably enough pinch on here to hold it nice and firm. The best bit is the mic, as I've always said. The mic is amazing, so I don't need to get another mic to do voice overlays and stuff, and you'll hear that as well. I love the Bluetooth factor on this, which is so simple. You literally connect to it, and you can do the volume controls and change tracks and stuff within the system. I just wish they're separated to the chat on the Bluetooth maybe or something, and then you can basically adjust the chat volume, which I haven't managed to do. I don't know if you can do that, separated from the computer sound or Bluetooth into that, but I haven't managed to do that. I'm going to see if I can do that anyway. Charging is brilliant, which is good, and you can connect another device to it. I think you share sound through this jack here. So all in all, I love the sound quality. It is really good, and it's very simple to use. Dolby Atmos are one thing you'll notice, that when you go to Dolby Atmos connected on the computer for this, you can't use the IQ system, Corsair IQ system, to do any EQ settings. You've got to disable that for them to use that one. So that's the bit that a bit off-putting, but I thought you could have had the IQ and also the Dolby Atmos in the same place to adjust it, but you can't. But I love the fact that the sound is very good. And one thing I just want to mention about the sound itself. So in the middle of a game, I was actually not in the game, but I could hear my friends playing, and I could see what they're doing. And I said to my friend, "There's somebody coming behind you." What somebody did was went all the way around the map to get to him, and I could hear all the footsteps all the way around. I said to him, "He's coming behind you," and he couldn't hear in his headset for some reason. But on this, I could hear the footstep quite far away and what's going on and who's coming, behind you. If you need that sort of system, if you've got that sort of game that you're playing where you need to be aware of where the footsteps are. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed, and I did not notice that. It's probably because I didn't set the EQ up on the Astro, but that's one thing I did notice, and I do love the sound on it. I can't fault the sound. It's probably not the best sound that you can get, but it is more than sufficient for what I'm using it for. Mic is detachable, as you know, so only thing the bad thing, as I said, is that not enough hold on this on my head. Adjustment is fine. Another thing I did not like is the fact that you can turn it around like this and you can put it on your neck normally if you're just carrying it about, not having it on your head, and it is a bit too tight, so it's a bit choky on here. Without putting it all the way down, even then it's too it's just there pinching your neck too much. So that's a bit useless. If you've got this sort of turnability, that's the main reason you do it for, I assume, is that you put it on your neck and you can just let it hang down. But if you're holding that there, it's like, okay, it's a bit too tight around your neck, it's choking you almost. So yeah, that's the downside of it. I'm just going to compare it to see how my other one does it, and let's see if it's the same thing. So yeah, this relaxes more on you, and it doesn't really pinch you on here. It just sort of just lays on there, which is good. This is just a Turtle Beach, so that's the same thing. But if you've got the ability to turn it around, I don't see why does it have to choke you like that badly. Now, I don't know how you'd fix that. This probably you can't. But yeah, so overall, I would say the sound is brilliant. There's no fault with the sound. Mic is amazing. Comfort-wise, it could be a bit better. That's the only thing, a downfall to it. Connectivity is brilliant. It's so easy to do. The quality of the build is amazing. For gameplay, I can't fault it at all. I think it's been better than all the other ones that I've had so far. There hasn't been any lagging issue at all. As I said, I could hear people walking around the map clearly to know if they're coming behind me or not. but I would upgrade the cushion soon. If I'm going to keep this, I'm going to upgrade the cushion for sure, because I just find that it's just too. I mean, I feel the drive on my ears here, and I think it's not comfortable enough, especially when you've got this too far up, to be honest. But yeah, so that's the conclusion to it. So what I have here is the Corsair VIRTUOSO headset. I'm actually loving the connectivity of this. Comfort was the only problem, I would say. I think it just needs to be a bit more tighter fitting, because when I move my head. So I invested from China with ear cushions. Let me open this up and have a look. So it's going to make a rustling noise. And these are slightly thicker version of that cushion. I'm hoping that it will be much better to wear around my head, and it also comes with a bit of protection for the top as well. And I'll show you close up of this in a minute, but let me just have a look for myself. It took about a week and a half to come. I went with the normal material, because to be honest with you, I don't think even the leatherette holds the sound out from the external sound anyway. These are much thicker, and they seem to be, yeah, memory foam. Yeah, they seem very comfortable. It is much thicker, so I'll show you close up in a second. But first, I can't remember how you take this off. I think something to do with that way, I can't remember that. Oh my gosh. Don't want to break this. No, it's that way. So just to show you, it's clockwise turning, by the way. The headset side. So if you look at this now, you'll see the difference. And also I'll show you how when I squeeze it, and then if I squeeze this one, it's a bit harder, but at the same time it seems to be too thin. So that's the difference. So as I said, this came from China. It was £11. But it took a week and a half to come, I think, but it was on time from the delivery that they gave me. So I'm going to replace this, and I should tell you how comfortable they are. Hopefully they'll fit in just right. Just slots in according to this, hopefully. Okay, so it goes in there, to there. There you go. That's in. Right. That's in. Alright, this is the test. To make it a bit longer. Oh, it is much better already. I feel more comfortable with this. My ears doesn't touch the drivers at all. And it's got the normal cover within it as well, which is good. I don't know if you can see this. But it is a big difference in terms of size. Look at the thickness of that compared to the thickness of this. If I put this in between, let it hold it for a second. Okay, you'll see the difference. Now that is the difference between the two. Now I could have gone for the leather version. I think it was slightly bit more, a couple of quid more expensive, but it sweats a lot. I think leather, and this one started to pinch my ears slightly. It feels a bit uncomfortable after a couple of hours of use. So that's one thing. But not just that. For 11 quid or £11. I also get something extra that came with. I think it's part of the deal. So if anybody's interested, I can probably send you the link where I got it from. They might not always have these sort of offers. But this is a cover, and I've always had this problem with my leatherette stuff over time. It's just cracking and breaking. So I thought I'd get one of these as well. So this should be quite simple to put on, he said. So let's get this on there. Alright, oh dear. How does it go then? Okay, so good. That's interesting. Just getting it on there. There you go. It's in. Get it in the middle somehow. Probably using the wrong words here. It's not tight enough for my head. So there we go. Extra bit of cushion protection. Let's pull this side a bit more. Okay, now let's try it again. Yeah, it does make a difference. There we go. But it is much more comfortable for my ears. It feels, although it's still wobbly, it's not really tight as the I mean, the best tight fitting one I found and comfortable in terms of the leatherette and the stuff that goes, this one here, the Turtle Beach. And the good thing about this is basically, if it's got, look at that, it doesn't have much give to it, and when I put it on, it just stays there and that's it. There's no movement. So I'm a bit disappointed on that part when it comes to the Corsair version of it, because it's just not that good. I still love the connectivity. I can play music while playing games and do the chat. However, I try to do something slightly different. I tried to have the chat, because with the chat volume, you can either increase on the computer, or this doesn't allow you to increase it or decrease it on here. It's only all the volumes up or all the volumes down. That's one thing I have found out after long prolonged use. So I try to be clever by using the chat volume through the Bluetooth on the computer, so I can actually use it as like how you play music and volume up and down. That works really well. Only problem is when I do a recording of it, either I get to hear my own chat or I get to hear the game. And it doesn't work when you're doing some recording of gaming, especially when you've got friends and you want to hear what they say, and you playback is quite funny. But yeah, that's the only disappointing part of it. But apart from that, I don't have any problem with it, so I can start using it that way if I wasn't to record my games. But yeah, this is it. So it makes a big difference. So the only thing that Corsair would have had to do is to change the cushions to thicker ones and comfy ones, and make this slightly tighter just to give it enough hold, because it's not holding on my ears comfortably enough.
Alright, here we go now, guys. This is the voice overlay done by the Virtuoso XT. I'm on my computer screen, as you can see, and we'll make a bit of ping noise in a second to say the voice it's all connected. So here you go. I'm just showing you the IQ software.
Mic on.
I have quite a few devices connected. As I've said, I have mainly Corsair product, so there's more stuff on there. But for now, I just want to show you the Virtuoso XT, and there's not much you could do on there, to be honest, apart from just change the colors and basically equalizer as well. Now, as I said, the equalizer will only work if you have disabled Dolby Atmos, and if you don't do that, you'll come up as the error, the message that was there just a second ago when you go to equalizer. But basically, lighting effect and the equalizer, as you can see, this is what it will do if you don't have that disabled. Apart from that, basically, you've got to use one or the other equalizer. That's the problem. Now, having gone through this once already, you can basically change some color of your LED on the side of the headset by using that, and sleep mode after 10 minutes or whatever. I mean, you can see yourself what's on there. You can pair more than one device to through Bluetooth. But as I said, what I did and really worked for me really well, apart from the fact that if I'm recording a video clip on the game, it won't work as well. Now, the problem is, as I said, if I do it the way I've mentioned, you use the Bluetooth for your chat, which you can quite easily adjust, and you can adjust the volume of the chat through your headset, and you use your normal connection for your game. And that's the best way I thought, workaround I found to make it easier in terms of how it should have worked with a normal Xbox headset, where you can adjust the chat through your headset. With the computer, you can't do that without having to do it the way I mentioned, use the Bluetooth. Now, the equalizer on there now, as you can see, this is how you'd look. You can preset it to whatever you like. And to be honest, I kept it very basic, and I just went straight to Dolby Atmos and just did it through there, and that was it. And that worked fine for me. But looking at the dongle itself, you can do multi-pair on there. I don't have a PlayStation on there, so I said no to that one. It just I kept it too simple, and I said that you can do multi-connection. I think it says on there something like that. So additional devices you can connect to it as well. Well, that's basically how it looks when you go into IQ system. But as I said, this is more of a test for you guys to see how the voiceover sounds compared to any other headset that you may have used. So this is what I'm going to use it for mainly, and I'm still testing out, to be honest with you. It took me a while to get it working. I don't know what happened, but it literally I used DaVinci Resolve to do my editing, and for some reason I just couldn't get it to work until it suddenly appeared and it worked. I don't know what I did to it, but it worked. And there you go. There'll be some background noise you can probably hear. So I kept everything to standard default settings, and that's how I've just so you can hear the background of my children running around in the background, so you can hear all those noises maybe as well. So the sound itself, well, you can decide for yourself how well it sounds. I've got the mic about 20, 50, less than, well, very close, about 2 fingers away from my mouth. The easiest way to describe it. But apart from that, if I move a bit further out now, this is a bit further out. That's about 10 centimeters away, and still picking up the sound quite well. I can see on the thing. So I'll keep it quite close so you can hear it clearly. And voice chat's been brilliant on this as well. So there you go. There's my voice overlay voice test.
Thank you very much, and if I do have any updates on it, I'll put on the notes down below. But otherwise, this is a very good headset overall. Just the fact that the build quality is good, just the comfort isn't as so, but everything else is on par with any other top brand of a headset that you've got there. So I strongly recommend this just because of that quality. But to be honest with you, it's not that much of a difference compared to leather and a normal material or sports material they call it, to hold sound in, so it cancels the sound outside, because you can still hear sound when you've got this on, and I think most headsets you can hear it quite well of what's going around you. Yeah, but I have no problem with it. It's slightly heavier on the size weight than others maybe, but I don't have any problem with that. So thank you very much for watching, and as I said, I strongly recommend this. So take care now.